Yo, man, I mean, welcome to Ad Brothers here. And, like, I think an important topic for us to talk about that's not normally talked about is paternity leave. And, you know, I definitely want to hear y'all perspective from, like, young men in the game of advertising, like, what your thoughts are. And, like, we'll start with AD and Colfax. How do you guys feel about paternity leave? Do you feel like there's a lot more that needs to be done at companies, or
Definitely.
a lot of people forget about the father having time, because this is a prime time when you're building with your child when he's born, etc.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
I mean, I was the first, fortunately, the first person to hold my child, right? And, I literally, the second he came out, like, I got video of welcoming him to the world, and saying, like, yo, I got you for the rest of your life, right? That bond has never been broken from that day. I mean, unfortunately, he had to be in what they call NICU, which is like a natal intensive care unit for a few days. And I was the one that was there, while my wife was recovering from the delivery. I was, having to go down pretty much around the clock to make sure he hears my voice, things like that. The father's role in a child, be it a son or a daughter, is massively important, and even more so nowadays. So I decided and made the intentional move, especially being, I guess, middle-aged now in advertising, having been in advertising for 20 years, to remove myself from a day-to-day job. Though I was fortunate enough to still be self-employed with, businesses that I own on the side, but to focus on my child's first 2 years now of life, where I shared responsibilities, day-to-day responsibilities between my wife, and we hired a nanny, but I took care of my child for 4 days out of the 7 days of a week. And that to me is something you can never give back, especially as a black man raising a black son.
Mm-hmm.
Who's a Knicks fan, right?
Who will never be a Knicks fan.
Damn.
Your wife's from New York,
Wow.
so
I
he's
will
a
move
Knicks
him
fan.
out of
He's
this
born in New
fucking
York.
city.
Maybe he'll be a Nets fan.
Born in Brooklyn.
No.
He actually might. They're better than the
Be a
Knicks.
Nets fan. That's
But
worse.
the fact is that he will be a Chicago Bulls fan, though I hate to
Why?
admit that in this day and age. Because
We don't
we
know
are-
Jordan. He's
He
never
will
heard
know
of
Jordan. Everyone will know Jordan. All right? In the
Everyone
same way you know Jesus. You know Jordan.
Okay.
He's in somebody's wall.
Yo, AD.
I mean, look. I mean, what Colfax is saying is 100% true, man. Because look, I'm fortunate to be working for a company that gives me 12 weeks, but I feel like that still ain't even enough. However, there are some guys who don't get weeks at all, right? They get like a few days, and it's, you back at work. Back in the days, like them old school cats, man. Like you had a baby, they back at work the very next day as a man, right?
Handing out cigars.
And it's funny, since I've been kind of like, this is like my new job for like the last, I guess, month and a half now, and it's kind of like I love it. And the one thing I've been noticing as me and my wife take Garvey, to the doctor's office, like this whole myth of like black men being absent is a complete fucking lie.
Complete.
Because every time I go in, I see myself and like 3 other black dudes with their kids at the doctor's office going to see the pediatrician. So again, it goes back to narratives, right? This when we don't control narratives about who we are, then people can tell narratives about who we are, and we start believing that bullshit, right? This idea that black fathers are absentee, which is bullshit, right? So for me, having this time to bond with my son, I think it's vitally important. And my goal overall going forward is to be able to have more time. And, trying to win an Addy or trying to win. I was telling, Colfax and Shadow, a couple weeks ago for my birthday, I'm like, look, my whole outlook in life right now for the next 20-some years is making sure that Garvey is at a certain point in his life that he don't have to do the shit that me and his mom had to do to keep proving ourselves in this, trunked up, fucked up bullshit ass shit that we call American and advertising design, right? So the reality of it is, I want to have more time to enrich him and empower him, so he don't have to deal with the shit that we dealing with. You know what I mean?
I respect that.
Because it's real. You know what I mean?
Yo, future fathers, what y'all got?
Well, you should speak first.
Whoa!
What he saying? Yo, hold on. What that mean? Well, hold on. You not you holding out, my man?
Yeah, I'm like,
you
shit.
shooting at the club? I mean, what's
Breaking
the
news.
deal? Yo, what's the deal? What?
Never speak for another man when you could talk for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Go ahead, man. I want to hear your POV. Then I'll jump right in.
I mean,
That's at Brownsville.
it is. Honestly, my POV as a future father, because obviously that's, as I see my older brothers and you guys as brothers raising your children. And for me, I would say I want to have enough time to feel like I'm in my child's life and that I'm a part of it. I would say my goal would be at least like what you said, 12 weeks to be able to like be there, be a part of that bond and be a part of that build and
man.
support, my wife, girlfriend, whatever is going on.
We worked in this trick game, man. Like, having the dopest portfolio, getting that award, going on that shoot, like that's been sold to us, right? That shit is bullshit. It's vapor. That ain't even real.
Yeah,
you can buy that shit. You know what I mean?
So
you can buy that.
As the next father up after me, Easy Rose, I'd love to hear your opinion. Your kid gonna be poloed out, right?
Word.
First, I don't know who told you that, but that's fake news. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I guess you. So here we have two fathers, right? And like, I'm listening to them. I'm like, wow, like that shit is deep, bro. Like real shit. Like that's deep. Like I never even thought about myself that way. Like even to this point, like I never even envisioned myself being where I am right now. So like when you get to that point, and then you start to realize like there's other things in life that matters, right? Like forget going out or just getting these awards per what AD saying like fuck all that shit. Like yo, this is what's important. But then I don't know. Like I kind of grew up in a way where I didn't have that much time with my dad, right? Only because like my dad passed when I was young. But I felt like, and I've shared this on other pods, like the time that I did spend with him, he taught me everything I felt like I needed to know so I could navigate through life. And I think that's what's important, right? Yep. So like I don't have all the answers. Like even like they're doing the best that they can as men, right? And then even sometimes like I don't know if they'll ever feel this way. Like damn, I wish I had more time to do this. Like it's only 24 hours in a day, bro. Yeah. And like you got maybe some people sleep maybe 3 hours, and then they get back to doing whatever they're doing, get back to the kids. But your kids gonna get to a point where their friends is gonna have more influence over them than you.
Right.
Yeah.
So how like those are the things I think about. Like no matter you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say
that's true though.
A point that you and AD both said that I think is important to any parents listening. Before your kid gets to that point where their friends are influencing them, is given, like you said about your dad, and like what you said what you're doing for Garvey, is giving them the tools to think for themselves and be independent and be the leader.
Right.
And I think your father gave you that for sure, and I know you're giving that to Garvey. So it's
man, and that's what matters to me. Like I mean, I feel like a lot of things like I don't bend, I don't fold on. People might not like me for whatever it is, but that's me, bro. Like that's how I grew up. I had to grow up in a certain way. My pops, we ain't wake up at me and my sister. We ain't wake up by 7 or 8 o'clock on Saturday. We had a problem. He throwing water in our face. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? No, but I'm saying.
No, but I like that.
That's why I get up at it. Like I'm conditioned that way.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, you get to a point where, it's like, damn. He got to a point where he's like, damn, I got to lead this household, right? And I ain't got that much time left, and I'm just always worried about time, bro. Time is the thing.
Yo, Shadow.
I mean, it was just some powerful commentary. I'm sitting back. Like,
Julio out here.
Yo.
Just sitting back. I'll say something a little bit that's unpopular, but I know that there's a lot of people who don't like maternity and paternity leave at work because they think about themselves.
Yeah.
And then they start to be like, damn, now I got to do this other person's work. Or they think about the flow or the change in chemistry if like a freelancer has to come in or something like that. And I think it's really unfortunate. And I'm very career driven. And to your point, like I never thought I would ever make the amount of money I make or have like the opportunities I have to interact on the day-to-day with people I interact with. So I never thought about it. But as I came a little bit further in the journey, I realized like, I belong here. That makes me think about that makes other people think about, well, why am I going to do your job? Why you have to go take care of some kid, like why can't I get this time off? Or if you have paternity leave or maternity leave or whatever, when you still get the salary for not working. Imagine, people feel a way about that. And then when you come back,
but you get an opportunity to shine now.
Yeah. And also too,
but people don't think about that. People are selfish. Right?
I tell people all the time, never work.
Selfish.
here's some OG advice. Never work for somebody who doesn't have kids or a pet, because
or never work for anybody who who lacks empathy.
Yeah. No, but that's my point. Like,
true.
You don't have a dog, cat, or a baby
Or a rat.
or something.
Something
You have no
that you have
empathy.
responsibility.
Like Michael Jackson taking care of rats and shit.
Because I've seen this happen multiple
motherfucker.
times where you're like, why does this person have to leave at 6? And it's like, yo, they gotta go get their kid. They gotta go to babysitter. They gotta get like, it's a bunch of shit.
And that's what keeps the balance of work life in check, though.
Yeah.
Is honestly having the responsibility of either a family, a spouse, an older, parent that you're taking care of, or something. You cannot. And then honestly, it's like, what are you working for?
Man.
I mean, half of the jobs I've had, we've had fucking meetings to meet in advance of meeting in other meetings. It's like, what are we doing? There's not any job in 2018 that needs to be done more than 8 hours a day, unless you're literally
saving
Honestly,
somebody's
they probably
life.
doing it
You're
less
saving
than
somebody's life.
Right.
But that's why I wanted
Or
to
you're a
say.
teacher. I think teachers that's a super hard job.
Yeah, it is, and you made a great point. Work-life balance is a fallacy, because there's no reason why we can't come in, do what we got to do, and then get up out of there.
Right.
And we're creative, so like you're not gonna have the best copy in 8 hours or whatever, but then you go home as a professional. You craft it, you do what you got to do, so you can come back the next day and knock it out.
Sometimes at work, I feel like people look at you weird when you like, all right, I'm ready to go by 5, just because you got all your shit done.
Let me say this.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I'll say this, and this is why I'm so grateful for the new opportunity. They look at you crazy when you're there past 5.
Yep.
It's like 5:15. Like, why are you here?
That's good.
And it shook my system. Wow. It really shook me.
He's like,
I'm
yo, I still got shit to do.
Yeah, I'm saying they're like, no, we can do this tomorrow.
That's
and
good.
I said, so you know what?
Not in media, but I feel you. Baby.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing that we do. We're not saving lives. Like, if you're a surgeon, you can't be like, oh, well, it's 5 o'clock. I'm clocking out.
That's true.
Like when someone's chest is open in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, or a firefighter. Any responsibility you have to protect or take the care of other people is not a job that you should be. Outside of that, it's not a job to when it's like, this can't wait
Yeah.
until tomorrow.
I agree.